Hey mate, today we're going through 3 of the best ways to build a better deadlift. Let's check it out. So there's mainly 3 different elements to the deadlift that you must master to have a good deadlift. So those 3 is learning to stabilize your shoulder, stabilize your hips, and get a good hip hinge pattern. So what do these mean? We'll go through all of those, but basically all these will teach you is just teach you how to keep your body nice and stable so that it can lift more weight. A lot of people, if they haven't got stable shoulders, their body will find a way to lift the weight. They're more likely to get cause injury. And in the long run, if you're having injuries or if you're lifting in not the most optimal way, you're going to lift less weight. Your performance is going to go down. So by implementing these 3 different exercises and concepts, you're going to feel a lot safer. They're going to feel a lot better, and you're going to lift more, which is awesome. So let's check out the first one. Okay, so one of the first things you need to know is knowing how to pack your shoulders and how to arrange your upper body. We'll go through the lower body in a second though. So a great way to practice that is, if I'm sure you would have heard the concept called breaking the bar. So the concept of that is you've got the bar here and you're trying to wrap that bar around your body. And if you just look at my elbows here and here, you find out what happens when I try to wrap it around. I pull it towards my body and the back of my elbows just go forward, okay? And what that really does is that sets up my back in a nice tall position, because if I'm in that position where I kind of wrap that bar around, it makes me want to go nice and tall. And it also gets our lats extra fired up. So, and a great way to learn this is by doing some kind of lat activation exercise. So this is something that you can do on something with cables or whatnot. But if you've just got bands at home or something, all you need is a stick and some kind of band. Okay, so I've got a band here like this. So it's got some handles here. What you can do is just thread it through, loop it through somehow, and away you go. So loop that through, and the way we're going to do this exercise is you grip it about just outside of shoulder width, and the first thing you want to do is just shrug up so you know that you're in a crappier position, and then you want to shrug down, bring the shoulder blades down here, and then pulling that bar towards you, okay? So what we're focusing on is bring the shoulder blades down and then breaking that bar. So you should be able to see my elbow basically rotating forward, the back of my elbow. So you want to shrug up, shrug all the way down, nice and tall. We don't want to shrug our shoulders back. We're just going down, breaking the bar, and then pulling that down towards our hips, okay? So you can do this for reps, making sure that each time you reset so that you get the correct position. I'd even shrug up, come down, hold it down towards the hips, and actually pause there for a second there, just so you can rearrange your body and feel that tension that you've got in your shoulders, okay? All right, so for this second one, we're gonna start stacking these, this idea of creating tension in the upper and lower body. So this one's gonna teach you how to create tension in your lower body and get your glutes working and set your body in a really good position. So you've probably heard of, like with breaking the bar, you've got a similar concept with your hips, which is spreading the floor or pushing your knees out. So this is what this exercise is going to teach you with this band. I'll show you in a second. So the idea is if I'm standing nice and tall, you just kind of watch where my knees in. So if I draw them in like that, that means there's no tension in my glutes, okay? But if I spread the floor, in other words, I'm trying to do this with my feet, but without them moving or doing that. So I'm pushing my feet into the floor. I'm trying to spread that floor with my feet. And what happens is my knees start to go over the second toe, okay? So if I'm nice and tall, I spread the floor. What happens is that gets my glutes fired up and also sets my hips in a great position, like breaking the bar does for your shoulders. So if you watch from the side angle, if I just drop into this position here, and then I spread the floor, what happens is, if I spread the floor, it gets my glutes fired up and it just puts my pelvis into a neutral and really good position, okay? So the way we practice this is using something called X-band walks. So you want to get a band like this, whatever's at your level, step on it put it where your midfoot is, like so. We're going to pull that up and you're going to get a bit of tension here. So to start it off, we want to think about spreading the floor a bit and also breaking the bars. In other words, just shrugging your shoulders down towards the floor should suffice for this one. So we're going to lean to the side, stepping out, and then leaning again. So it's a bit of like an Oompa Loompa walk, I like to call it. But once you get the hang of it, you really should feel your glutes burn after the second or third set of doing this. So do it nice and slow, just small steps. The bigger the steps, the harder it is. And just avoid the stepping and then flinging back there, because you're not actually doing too much. You're just letting the band do the work for you. You want to basically have all tension in your glutes the whole time you're doing. Nice and straight legs, forwards and back. Okay? So if I turn around to the side here, what we don't want to do is start to dump the hips towards the floor and lose tension in our lower body. If you're dumping the hips, you're probably going to be bending your knees and losing that bit of tension. And you might start to feel it more in your legs or even your lower back. So what you want to do before you start off is spread the floor, get your butt working, and then start moving. Okay? Just be sure not to dump those hips and you should be fine. After doing those two last exercises, you should have a bit more of an understanding, creating tension in the upper and lower body. And what this does is actually challenges you so that you can keep that tension in your body as you're going to pick up that barbell. Because it's quite easy to hold tension just if you're in a static position, but you want to be able to keep tension as you're sitting back and going to grip that barbell and pull it up to your body. So this is a way to practice that. This is what it puts it all together. So if you can do this, you're onto a really good thing. So you want to line it up. You have 3 points of contact here, here, and here. Okay? So what we want to do is keep our knees, basically our shins vertical. We don't want to be dumping our knees forward because that would look like more of a squat. So we're going to line everything up like so, and we're going to be thinking about what our butt is doing. So again, we're going to be spreading the floor, okay? Nice and tall, I'm spreading the floor here, and I'm going to think about setting my butt back, okay? So I should start to feel a bit of a hamstring stretch about here. I want you to keep on chasing that hamstring stretch and keep going, keep going. Once you get there, should be about there, you can go all the way up and squeeze your butt at the top to set your hips. If you're finding it hard that your knees are just traveling forward too much, you can use a bench to help you out. So what I would do is have a bench behind you, and basically you want to keep the back of your legs in contact with that bench the whole time. Okay, so that's just going to stop you from dumping your knees forward. So you want to go nice and straight, spread the floor, and then sit back over that bench as far as you can, and then standing up nice and tall. Okay, so once you get really good at doing it with the bench, you want to keep practicing and eventually walk away from the bench until you can do it without that help. So you've got to make sure that you understand how to create tension in your upper and lower body and putting it together in a really good hip hinge pattern. In other words, a deadlift pattern. If you don't know how to create tension in your upper and lower body, you're going to have potential for getting injuries. You're going to lift less. It's overall going to be a crappier deadlift. Don't be one of those people. Make sure to put all these three things together. I guarantee if you include those in your warm-up or in between sets of doing your deadlift, it's going to feel a lot better, and in the long run, you're going to lift more, okay? So thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. If you want some more great information on how best to lift in the gym, especially if you've just come back from an injury, please make sure to check out my 7 lifts to bulletproof your body after injury. Deadlifts are included in there, as well as squat, lunges, and bench press, and a few of some great others, okay? I'm gonna drop that down in the link down below. Please make sure to check it out. My name's Adam, and I help you return to the gym and stay there.